So good morning everyone. Uh, my name is Giancarlo Piribulyo, your presenter from 3CRIA1-11. So today I'm going to discuss the explosives, and our objectives is to identify kinds of explosives and the effects of explosion, explain characteristics of explosives and explosive analysis. Next slide. So sa classification of explosives. So meron tayong tinatawag na low explosives and the high explosives. So sa low explosives, makikita natin example sa left side ng ating screen. It's a mixtures of chemicals that burn very rapidly but uh, sub subsonically as opposed to supersonically, meaning that they deflagrate. They consist typical of fuel and an oxidizer, like the picture in the left side. So the black powder used in fireworks is one of example of explosive. Black powder burns very quickly, but to get it to go bang, we have to contain it. So kailangan natin itong para mapasabog ito, kailangan natin yung ma-contain. So dito naman sa high explosive, so the example in the right side, kung makikita natin, it's sa mga millennials, madalas natin yung tumata sa RPG o basuka, binabala dito, pero sa mga military term naman, ito ay bala na sa mortar. So high explosive consists of material that typically combine the reacting elements in the same molecule. This allows them to react much faster and detonate. Detonation involves supersonic shock waves, so malalakas talaga impact ng mga high explosives, causing chemistry that happens quite a bit faster than burning. High explosive do not need to be contained to make their bang. So hindi na kailangan na itong ma-contain pa, kasi kaya na ito pasabugin sarili once na magkaroon ng impact sa maybe sa lupa or sa ibang matigas na bagay. So next slide. So effects of explosion. Oh. Ano nga ba yung mga magiging epekto ng isang explosion o ng pagsabog? So makita natin sa picture na dito sa slide ito, may sunog. Bakit? Kasi nga mayroong sumabog. Once na may sumabog, magkakaroon nito ng burning katulad nga kanina. Lalo na pag ito ay tumama sa isang light material, madaling masunog, magkakaroon ng pagsabog. At madalas naman yung mga terrorist group na kung saan nagpapasabog ng matataong lugar, ano nagiging epekto nito? Loss of life na maraming namamatay na tao dahil sa pagsabog. Kasi nga katulad ng sinabi sa explosive, meron itong malakas na impact, so that can cause death. So next slide, dito naman tayo sa characteristic of explosives. So sa characteristic of explosives naman, in general, an explosive has four primary characteristics. So first, it is a chemical compound or mixture ignited by heat, shock, impact, or friction, or a combination of these conditions. So upon ignition, it decomposes rapidly in a detonation. So once na ang explosive ay nag-decompose, na-detonate, sasabog ito at magkakawasak-wasak ang different parts ng explosive device na ginamit. So there is a rapid release of heat and a large quantities of high pressure gases and expand rapidly with the surface force to overcome confining forces. So in the energy released by the detonation of explosive produces four basic effects. rock fragmentation, rock displacement, ground vibration, at air blast. So yan yung mga karaniwan natin nakikita maging sa mga nagaganap na pagsabog na ginagawa ng mga teroristang grupo. So next slide. So dito naman tayo sa explosive analysis o yung pag-aanalisa ng mga pagsabog. So there are two separate examinations performed in the forensic analysis of explosive identification and characterization of the intact explosive and an examination of explosive debris. So ito yung nakikita natin sa ating right side ng ating screen na ang mga explosive debris. Examiners will analyze the intact explosive and residues as well as intact fragmented device components. So the overall objectives of forensic explosive examination is to the identification of explosive present in the intact explosive particles were found. The type of explosive producer and brand name might be identified. In contrast, trace residues of explosive may be analyzed and classified but are difficult to identify. Variables such as ambient temperature, weather conditions, and temperature and pressure, and the time of explosion are complicated for forensic analytical process. Excuse me. So dito naman sa explosive analysis, maaari kasing merong signature na ginagamit ng mga teroristang grupo once sila ay nagpapasabog. So dito malalaman ng ating mga otoridad kung sino ang responsableng grupo sa nasabing pagpapasabog, dahil nga ang goal ng mga teroristang grupo ay mag-cause ng takot sa mga tao. So nagiiwan sila ng mga pinaka signature nila na uri ng papasabog para malaman na sila ang teroristang grupo na responsable sa pagsabog. So yun lang po. Maraming salamat.